host Wacko Weekly Kids if we ever bring him back, or do you want to hear him again on Wacko Bob's show? Let Wacko Bob know if you want to hear this little crazy 4-year-old.
You never know with him,
you know.
What he doesn't know is you a couple more years. You had a girlfriend that was only a couple years older than him that just absolutely fell in love with you when you put Garfield over in a big way. The movie. She became your best friend, and you remember her. You remember it was Ben's daughter. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm sorry. It was Ben's daughter, Rhiannon.
Oh, yeah, Rhiannon. Yeah, I remember her, Rhiannon. She was a beautiful child. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful fucking child, man. Beautiful child. The thing about Ben was so unprofessional, but he had beautiful children. And that was the thing that I think really gave Ben motivation to get up every day and do what he does. And I thank Ben every day for giving birth to those beautiful children who fell in love with the most attractive man without even having to do anything to get them to fall in love with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was definitely your defender, that's for sure. Or she was.
Hey,
and I gotta thank everyone.
Jonathan, you make me laugh like this. If you do it, even keep on going, I might laugh harder than a cross between the Chucky doll, a hyena, and the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Man, I tell you, those Chucky movies, I watched all of them in succession from 1 to like 5. We're around 5 of those Chucky movies. And the funny story was a couple of years ago, Most Attractive Man, he has all kinds of fans. There was actually a fan, I'm assuming it's a fan, I don't think it was actually him themselves, but the Chucky doll actually sent me a friend's request on Facebook. And I went into his profile, and it was just done up just so. Like, he had all the details, all the biography done up of Chucky, and he had videos of himself up there, and I was like, man, do I really have this kind of a following? And I got kind of scared. The Chucky movies, I think, though, were some of the greatest of all time, in all honesty. They really were. They were some of the best. They really were some of the best, and I will never forget those movies. I think the first one came out in 92 or something, 92, 93.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then every year after that, they released new ones. But then when they got, to the very last Chucky movie with Jennifer Tilly, I think, who was the one who played both the character of herself and the bride of Chucky, I think they really ruined it.
Wasn't the last.
Yeah, that was, oh, God, that was terrible. That was rotten.
Yeah, looks like this STD with Swax is not wanting to cooperate with me. So.
All right, let me make up for that. Okay, Swax. From what I've heard, Swax is somebody that has been causing a lot of trouble on the radio since I've been gone.
Yeah,
Yep.
All he does is fantasize about being with these 2 girls, Brooke Nicole Adams, a.k.a. Miss Testmaster over at TNA Wrestling, and Barbara Jean Blank, a.k.a. Kelly of the WWE.
Yeah, the only reason Swax does that is because I've had a connection with Kelly, a very personal connection for years and years and years that people keep bringing up to me, and I hate it. When I was going through a lot of personal issues in my life, Kelly was really there for me because she gave me someone to talk to. Not only she gave me someone to talk to, but close personal friends of hers that have nothing to do with this business. One of the girls' names was Krista. And I remember talking to Krista a lot of times in the late night hours of the night, talking to Krista. She was a beautiful person. I think she was even more beautiful than Kelly was. And then one night, all of a sudden, I got invited down to Jacksonville for that ECW one-night stand shit they were doing in 2007. And I said to myself, obviously this girl is trying to hook up with me. And the Most Attractive Man backed out because he realized he had so many attractive women around him, he didn't need to go down to Jacksonville, Florida. And I think that's where Swax gets this from, is just the relationship that I've had with Kelly. So he may be trying to compete with me. But I started thinking about Swax, live STD here. I started thinking about Swax and why he's just so messed up. I think it goes back to that all-exclusive paid trip that his mother took to Transylvania about 20 years ago, and she got lost from the tour guide and ended up in this dark room. So anyway, she ended up in this dark room, and she ended up on top of something. So when the security guards came in the next morning, they realized that she had passed out on top of Frankenstein. So 9 months later, out pops Swax out of Swax's mom's stomach, and he's half man, half freak. And that's why he talks so fucked up and stuff. It's because he's half man, half freak. The man has no understanding of actual life. Honest to God, he doesn't. He sucks. That's the thing about Swax. Swax sucks, and he's just there. He's like a piece of crap in the toilet. And that one piece of crap that always keeps floating back up to the surface. You no matter how many times.
A little nugget.
A little nugget,
the
nugget that flashes you in the butt when you're like, how did that thing do that?
He is, and my assumption of Swax is he's half man, half freak.
You may be right there, I will say that.
Swax is half man, half freak. I don't know where he. I would be very embarrassed if I talk like Swax. I'm in the process of uploading all these pictures that you can't copy and paste of Gail Kim. Who cares if you're doing that, man? That's irrelevant information, unless you're some pedophile.
I mean, he knows how to trash a show so bad. It's sickening. Like that time. Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy, but I just want to get this out there to the listeners and fans and friends and family and everything, because that one show where I had Melissa Manson on, and Bob was fixing to ask a serious question, and Swax, I was producing my own show, and Swax out of the blue just comes up with this question out of nowhere, out in left field in Plutoville, Pluto Planetville, and just totally takes over the thing. And I'm trying to mute him and stuff, and I think that's when I got hacked.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
Let me put it this way, John. But if we would have allowed Swax to come on probably at the beginning of the show, and he's still on with us, none of us would be talking probably. It'd be all him, basically.
Yeah, he literally...
I talked when Swax was on. You just go back to that Most Attractive Valentine's Day in 2009, Bob. Swax did not get over me, did he? He did not get over me because, well, that's what I hate. You people have this radio show. Okay, that's what gets on my nerves. You have this radio show, and you do such a great job with this radio show. You put it out there, and you promote it, and you make up the graphics and things, and then you have these pieces of shit that call in and ruin it for you, and I hate that. It gets on my nerves. It really does.
Well, I think he does it on purpose, too, as well, because, you know, when you mute him, and he'll hang on for literally hours, because, like, some of our shows are hour long, very few of them, but there's a couple of shows that are 2 hours long, but most of our shows are 3 hours long. And you just mute him, and he'll sit there and talk to himself, and you know, like...
Yeah, he ruins it. And that's the thing. Bob will call me up, and he'll be like, oh, Swax is causing me trouble. I've had people emailing me saying Swax is causing me trouble. And I really wish I could help you all. I really do wish I could do something about Swax. I wish that some independent promotion would book me in a match against Swax and have about 20 women around the ring serving as lumberjacks. I really do.
Hey, Jonathan, when it comes to Swax and I, don't you worry. I don't need your help, but if I do, I know who to call. I will call you, and we both will attack you and bring each other down. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, we're
For those of you that want to know what I'll be doing after this show is over, is playing Lego Marvel Superheroes on the PlayStation 3 with this 4-year-old that is addicted to it. Okay, well, tell everybody that you want to play Lego Marvel Superheroes in a few minutes, buddy, because you got to close the show first. Oh, man. You don't know what it's like when you have Bob knows because he has a nephew, but it's just amazing when you have a 4-year-old that just is so into you, and he's just, I don't know how to describe this little guy. I think if he had a show, he'd be talking about playing games all night. Yeah, he's awesome. I really do apologize, though, for Swax. Swax is an idiot. I don't even know where Swax came from. Was it in your head? In your head online or something?
No, he wasn't born. He was hatched, okay? He was actually hatched.
Well, I met Swax.
Does he really bring you down? Does he really bring you down that much?
Waggle Bob, go.
Go ahead,
Swax
Bob.
was first met, and we first met him back in, I believe it was the beginning of 2007, when I first took over ownership of the dark match. When I first took over the full ownership of the dark match, and that was back when we had the jealous people of the original Wrestling Radio Network, the original that were jealous because we were getting their numbers, and they did whatever they could to shoot us down. So I mean, but Swack stayed on board with us. He was into the people that ran that one, like the Voice of Wrestling posers, and in your head, or in your ass, because in your head has their heads way up their ass. He was into that.
Such a better remix tonight.
The
same thing.
We had such a better remix kicking us off tonight. We had such a better remix. We blew In Your Head's remix at the water.
Yeah, one last thing, and this will have to be a live one here. I know we didn't get to do all. I know we weren't able to do all of them in 2.5 hours, but Casey, not Casey Connors, we did him. I got to ask you about him because we've all found out what a traitor he was, especially just to get his name out there. Vinny DiBenedetto, better known as Vinny the Guido.
Vinny the Guido is like an invisible ghost, in my opinion. He's somebody that's in one place at 1 minute and gone somewhere else, and I don't even know. Like, he was somebody who was just an overpowering person. You would talk, and he would just try to overpower you all the time, and that was an annoying thing. Hey, Bryce, tell everybody that you hate Vinny the Guido. Say, I hate Vinny the Guido.
I do.
See, he doesn't have any fans. The 4-year-old is just blowing you out of the water, man.
Well, that's hard right there for a 4-year-old to a man.
Yeah.
But I tell you, he's strange. He's just strange. There are these people out there that just try to overpower you, and it's where he's a good person in some regards, but he's just too overpowering. You know what I mean? And he's annoying.
What do you think of him? With his actions about Dawn Marie, and then he goes and joins Dawn Marie, and is calling a man with no legs like Kamala, who had lost his legs, who had gotten screwed over by Wrestlers Rescue, a fraud.
That's too far. That's going way too far. Kamala was an entertainer. Kamala was somebody who had a lot of personal issues. I've spoken to Kamala.